Good morning, everybody. It's the Saints Man, small van driver on the CX. It's Thursday morning at 7:30, and I'm in a car park in Sheffield, waiting for an engineer which should have been here at 7:30. He's now going to get here at 8:15. This is my Monday to Wednesday life of in the van. Monday, I'd already got a load on. Last Friday, I picked a load up last Friday after I did the last recording, and it was to go to, let me get this one, Birmingham. Oh yeah, Birmingham, the Bull Ring in Birmingham, and Hams Hall. It's from a normal bloke who gives me quite a lot of work. All this work I'm getting. It was a Bull Ring Centre, which I'd never been to, but found the service yard quite easy and found the shop even easier. Hams Hall, that was when the problem started. Got to Hams Hall distribution centre, pulled into the gate. I got no reference number, no booking in number. Got a purchase order number, and I got the right address after it was a DHL, but I got no booking in number. So, booking reference number. So, guys, you've all been at distribution centres. If you haven't got one of them, you have to get one. So, she let me spin round. I parked outside and phoned the shipper, who's my mate, told him, and he went, oh shit, he says, I'll give you a ring back. He rang back, he says, yep, the girl in the office that normally does it, she's on sick, and the girl who's there didn't get your booking reference number. Can you bring them back to me in Northampton? Yep, no problem, I ain't got nothing else booked in. So it worked out in my favour really, because he got me back to Northampton. I charged him a bit less because it was a bit, I said to him, just knock it down to that. I'm still making money out of it. And he said, well, the good news is when you get back, he said, if you're interested, I've got a job to Kingston upon Thames, 1 box. I went, yeah, I can do that at all. So agreed the rate on that, my normal rate. And yeah, booked that in and done it. Got to Kingston upon Thames lunchtime-ish. Just after lunch. Yeah, it's about 1:30, something like that. Yeah, right near. I've done a few jobs around there actually, and yeah, drop that down there. 1 box, 2 retail unit again, right in the middle of Kingston upon Thames. Found the service yard again, quite easy. Dropped it off, no problem. So then I sat around and I've got 2 things. I either can try and find a long job to make it a really big day, or I'm now on, for the day I was on 163, or look for a 40 quid job home or somewhere home and get my target of 200, which is what happened in the end, because I picked a job up about in Addleston, about 8 miles from Kingston upon Thames, to go to Leavesden. Well, it was what's the name of the studio? Warner Brothers, where Harry Potter is and all that, Leavesden. And it was to take some kit that they'd hired back. So I booked 38 quid. It was only 24 miles. I booked 38 quid to get me over me 200, and she accepted that. And yep, no problem, picked it up. Should have been a 40-minute job, hour at the max. Took me 2.5 hours because the M25 was, let's put this politely, fucked. Yeah, just traffic, 1 accident, and it just comes to a gridlock, which is what happened. So that job, although I got my target, took me over 2 and a bit hours. I ended up getting there at 5 o'clock at night. But it did have an advantage, because my shipper who I do all the work for, he phoned me up. He says, Dave, I got a load for tomorrow. And he says, and I went, I guess it's the Birmingham rebooked. He said it is, but there's also a rugby and a Nottingham to go with it. So, but it's booked in at 11:30. So if you do that one last, go to rugby, then to Nottingham, then there you get an earlier start and you'll get your money in. So he said, but it's not due to be picked up till 6:15. So by the time I left, like near Watford, I got to his about 6, and they'd just come in with the items for me. So I chucked them all in the back of the van and went home. So I'd got my load for Tuesday. So that day I did 320 miles, and I got £200 and worked out 35 pence. because this man I do work for, he generates the mileage exactly to the penny, which is fine. I said to him, just round it down. He says, oh, the computer does it, then it sends it through to the accounts, and that's where you get paid. Fair enough. So Tuesday, I had to be in rugby for 8 o'clock, so not too bad a start. I started about 6:45. It's only an hour, 3/4 an hour, and it's right by Junction 1, distribution centre. Easy, one box, straight in, done it. I was in Nottingham. I ended up getting there in rush hour, so although it weren't a massive distance, I got there at 9 o'clock. I've done the Nottingham one a few times, and it was piss easy. And then I booked in at Hams Hall, and I got plenty of time, so I stopped to have a breakfast on the way down, and got to Hams Hall. I chanced my arm about 11:05. She was absolutely fine. She says, you can come in. There is a van on the slope. She says, once he's done, you can go back up there. Then I was out there by 11:25, so not too shabby. Then I'm looking for a job then, and I was in Hams Hall, which is Coles Hill, and I thought I just want an easy job, because I was going out at night. I'd got to get home, and I was going out with the lads, 9 of us in the end there was, for Chinese. We booked in a Chinese right near where I live at 7:30, so I didn't want a late night. I got up this morning, and I've had a quick shower. Yeah, got a job, Lutterworth. It said Lutterworth to Northampton, heading right near where I live, to Bedford, to Luton. 3 drops, end up in Luton. I was hoping that I could do it the other way around, Luton, Bedford, Northampton, home. But no, it had to be done this way. It's a route. And it's picking up car parts out of Lutterworth. And I've done BMW car parts from Northampton, and it's pretty much the same thing as a Toyota this time. You pull in, there's a fair few vans there. You park up, she comes and asks you what route you're on. You tell her the route. She said, yep, I'll bring it down to you. And she did. 11:15, she brought the stuff down, and she says, you only got 9 items, that's all that's been ordered. There's 8 items for Northampton and 1 for Bedford. So I said, well, what about Luton? She said they haven't ordered anything, so you haven't got to go. What a result. And the Bedford one was Northampton side of Bedford. It was literally 10 miles from my house. So I went, fantastic. They weren't even heavy. There was a couple of springs, a steering rack, but the rest were mats, and it was light stuff. So went to the Northampton one, which, like I say, is 3 miles from my house. Dropped them off. Straight down to the Bedford one, which is in Bromham. The garage, 1 box, small box. Drop that off. That's me done. I'm now done. 2:30 finished. That's a job. 2:30 finished. Fantastic. So I dropped the spare key for my van, which is what I use. I've got 2 keys. I only got 1 key when I got the van, the Citroen, and they're shitty little keys. So I went to my local key bloke, and he got me a really decent key, coded it, all that, does the lots. This was when I first got the van. And last week in Wales, I dropped the bloody key, and it opened the bloody thing up, and it opens and shuts the doors, but it won't turn the engine over. It just beeps. So there's something wrong with the coding. So I went to see him with a key. First time I'm sort of had a chance, and he put a bit of solder on it. He said, yep, it's come away from the connection. Put a bit of solder on it. Perfect. Didn't charge me a penny. He says there's no charge for that, mate. So got that done Tuesday afternoon. Did a fair bit of shopping for my good lady, which is where the key place is anyway. It's in the same centre, shopping centre. And I was still home at 4:15. So Tuesday, good day. 175 was the money, and I only did 220 miles, so it worked out at 78, 79 pence a mile, which is good. Happy with that. And then Wednesday, yesterday, I hadn't got a job, nothing booked in. There was nothing from me shipper, my mate, who gives me a lot of work. So I thought, I could have a lay-in, because I had a right good Chinese with the boys, a couple of beers. Didn't get in till about 11:30. So I got up, I wake up anyway, dog wakes me up, normal time. I thought, I'll just have a chill out. So I thought, I won't put the feed on yet, but it's a bad habit, you just do. Put the feed on. No, there was nothing going, and there was a fair few drivers around. And I thought, oh, this could be a really slow, rubbish day. And you just get that feeling that it's going to be a crap day. And this is what I like about the CX. It turned into a mega day, a monster day, because a job popped up. I had no intention on doing this, on doing this sort of day. I thought it was going to be a little piddle around the Midlands, 3 jobs, 140 quid or something. A job popped up from Crick, NN6, it was Crick, to Glasgow. I thought, well, I'll quote on it. I thought, if I get it, I'll get it. If I don't, I don't. And I quoted on it. And I got good money, and they give me it. Well, I phoned up. See, it doesn't say e-quotes only, so I phoned up. And it was 1 box, small box, going to Glasgow. Now, when I do mega long distance, I tend to quote a little bit down. But this was, I thought, well, I'll just quote this. I've got 20 odd miles to go to get to it. So I ended up doing 350 miles, and I quoted at 70 pence a mile. I got 230. It was 300. I got 230 anyway. 1 little box. It wasn't even in Glasgow. It was south of Glasgow by about 6 miles in a village, and it was a residential address. It was quite specific. I got to take photos of the box to make sure it was sealed, and I wanted photos and ID of the person who was taking it at the other end. Which when I got there, I got the job, picked it up. I it was 1 little box from a big distribution centre, but they said it was important as well. They said, what time do you think you'll be there? Yep, I said this time. I said I was going to have a break on the way up, and they said that's fine. If you're any later, can you let us know? Well, I wasn't. I gained. Motorways was clear, and I got there at 4:15. And I had 1 break for fuel. Don't talk to me about fuel. Price of fuel, Jesus. 1 break for fuel, and I had a coffee and a little stretch of the legs, and I just felt great. So I got there 4:15. Delivered it by 4:15. So I thought, well, that's going to be the end of that. My wife phoned me up to see how I was getting on. She got a day off, bless her. She said, how you doing? I said, I've just delivered. I said, but it looks like 4 o'clock I'll be here in Glasgow. I said, I'm going to try and get another job. I'll stay, keep the feed on. I said, but I don't think anything's going to come out of here. I said, so I'll stay in Glasgow. And with that, I hadn't even got. Morrison's was 4 miles away from where I was. I was going to go there, get some fuel, get some food, and on the way there, I hadn't even pulled in. Job popped up, Glasgow to Sheffield, but it was delivery 7:30 today, and I thought, well, that's great. But how big's the item? Because if I'm going to drive, if I'm going to drive to Sheffield, I ain't going to get to Sheffield till about 10:30, 11 o'clock, maybe later. I ain't getting a hotel. I'm going to sleep in the van, and if his item's too big, I ain't going to bother. She phones me up. She tells me it's a sign, long sign, 1.55 metres long sign. And now I've got no bulkhead in my van. This is no bulkhead, so I can take stuff longer. And she said, but it's not very big. I said, that's fine. I said, I can do that for you. I said, I can even drop it tonight if there's someone there. I said, I'm going to drive it to Sheffield. She said, well, unfortunately, the engineer's not there, and he won't be there till 7:30 in the morning. So that's fair enough. I booked it at a cheaper rate because it's like a backload rate to me. That she was looking for a backload rate. She said that. I booked it and it was 145 quid, which still worked out at 60p. Now that's my backload rate really. But it was 60 pence going back, and I did 375 quid. And where I went to the actual place, I'm here now. I'm in a car park now. Can't really show you much, but I'm in a car park where this engineer's going to be. And when I pulled up, the gate was open and the security was there. And I explained that I was meeting an engineer in the morning. Is there any chance, because it's right in the centre of Sheffield, any chance of me parking here and kipping in the van? He was staggered. He went, you're going to sleep in the van? I went, yeah. I says, that's not a problem. I've got the heating on. I says, and once I'm in my sleeping bag, he said, would you need a toilet? I said, well, I'm big. I stopped at the services on the way down. I said, but if I could just have a quick, and he went, yeah, so I'll let you. Brilliant bloke. And I kept in it. That's where I am now. Kept in the car park. So, yeah, all good. It's one of them days, you know. You don't think you're going to get much on Wednesday. I thought it was going to be a really crap day, and it ended up being a monster. And you only want one of them a week. Well, I do. I get one day like that a week, and I can piddle around now. Thursday, Friday morning, I've got more physio on my back from 9 till 10. So Friday's going to be a short day, but I've already got 4 days' money. I've got like up nearly 800 in 3 days. Let me work it out. 575, 675, 750. Yeah, 750. I'm 50 quid short of my 4 day money. Now I'm in Sheffield. Once his engineer turns up at 8:15, jobs are pinging up. I'm going to head for the Midlands. I'm going to try and get 150 quid day, and then only 100 quid tomorrow, and I've got my target. Or could smash it today, but I've still got to get home. Get a Sheffield to London or something, and then get a London back to the Midlands and have a long day, and then just have a really easy day tomorrow. But yeah, all good. My shipper phoned up as well yesterday afternoon. Bloke who gives me all this work to see if I could do Southampton and Exeter today. I said I'll have a job in Glasgow. He cracked up. He said, Jesus, he said, you get around. So that was good. So I did tramp last night, and boy was it cold. But it weren't too cold in the van, because what I do, I haven't got a bulkhead. So I put the van on, put the heater on while I set the bed up when I picked the parcel up in Glasgow. So I've got all the beds set up. It was just a matter of getting out, quick clean the teeth, get in a pair of shorts on and get in the sleeping bag. It was down to it went to 1 degree when I was coming out of Scotland. It ended up at 3 degrees here. And when I got here, it was 3 degrees. But I got the heater on, I left the engine running for a little bit, and then turned the engine off in the sleeping bag. And I've got a winter sleeping bag, a new one. Can't tell you the make of it, but it's bloody good. It's not that, it's light, but just seems to keep the warmth in. And yeah, I was fine, I was toasty. The only thing that woke me up was a wailing, and it was a bloody foxes. 4 o'clock in the morning. I wonder what the friggin' hell it was. And I didn't want to get out of my sleeping bag because it's obviously cold by then. The heat's gone out of the van, and I was toasty in the sleeping bag, and I thought, and it was foxes. Well, there was 1 or 2 having a right old commotion, but they were having a commotion in this car park at 4 o'clock this morning, and it went on for about 10 minutes. I still didn't get out. It had to be foxes. It was that noise. I've had it before. But once they'd gone, I was back to sleep, and I set the alarm for 6:30, and yep, I got up. What I do, turn the engine on, back in the sleeping bag, let the engine warm up, put the fan on high, blows it all through, and that's where we are. So we're waiting for this engineer. He should be here in about 10 minutes. That's why I'm doing this video. Hope you're all making money. Fuel prices are going to come down because UK Fuels have told me. My UK fuel card's come down. What is it now? It was 121 last week, and it's now 117 plus VAT, which is 23.4. So I'm at 140, about 144. But he's told me that in the next 2 to 3 weeks it will continue to fall because the oil prices have gone down. That's what he's told me. So hopefully we're going to get some cheaper fuel. And I hope you're making money. I'll give you another video at the end of the week. Nice one.